Coming up on Fulton Today, need help deciphering tax forms and eligible deductions? Find out where you can go and get help for free. And we'll talk to the new judge who's joined Superior Court's drug treatment program. Fulton Today is next.
From the Government Center in downtown Atlanta, you're watching Fulton Today with Shania Chavis.
Welcome to Fulton Today, everybody. I'm Shania Chavis.
And I'm Priscilla Ortega in the FGTV News Center. Another winter storm has Fulton County officials putting into practice what they learned since Winter Storm Leon. The Atlanta Fulton Emergency Management Agency is back on the job this week, coordinating efforts to help keep the county safe during and after this latest storm. Now, here are the important county numbers and websites to contact if you need information or if you need to report concerns about roads or services. In unincorporated South Fulton, call the facilities and transportation numbers you see there on the screen for road-related issues. To find out the status of county services, you can keep it right here on FGTV. We will scroll at the bottom of the screen all important information. You can also follow us on Twitter for the latest posting of information. Now, the Atlanta Fulton Emergency Management Director gave commissioners an update about the last storm at their meeting last week. Here is what happened.
How can we synchronize operations? How can we synchronize dismissals to the best of the abilities that we can?
The director of the Atlanta Fulton County Emergency Management Agency gives a report on the county's response to Winter Storm Leon. The report came just as commissioners requested a more coordinated response with state and local jurisdictions. FGTV's Priscilla Ortega has our story.
Now that Winter Storm Leon is long gone, Fulton commissioners asked their emergency management director to report on what his division had done before, during, and after the weather system. With a PowerPoint filled with details, Matthew Kallmeyer explained exactly how the coordination efforts were executed from the Atlanta Fulton Emergency Management Agency. From helping to coordinate rescue efforts of stranded kids on buses to assisting seniors, AFCEMA said it did the best it could with very little coordination with other jurisdictions, something the director hopes will change.
We need to increase Fulton County's coordination and communication with our local or regional partners. In order to do that, we're going to reach out to all the cities and ensure that we have and increase that level of coordination as well as to the school boards. And we're also going to work closely with the governor's office and his task force as we strengthen our regional coordination.
Commissioners applauded how county staff handled the emergency, yet each of them agreed that more coordination with local and state officials is needed for any future emergency event.
It seems to me that it would be helpful to the governor and certainly to the residents of Fulton County if we were represented on the task force.
I will be sending out invitations to the city managers within Fulton County, including the city of Atlanta, to join me in a meeting to discuss how we can, what we all learned and what we can do in terms of next steps and better coordination. I also would like to include the state in that as well.
I had the opportunity to take MARTA during the storm, and MARTA worked pretty efficiently. So I want to make sure that our plan also is in coordination with MARTA, since Fulton County supports MARTA.
But once you get some sort of consensus among the cities of the county, I think you ought to reach out to the county managers of each of the 5 counties, including ours. Of course, ours is included in that, but Cobb, Gwinnett, et cetera, because this truly is a regional issue.
Commissioners requested that information about available shelters be better communicated in the event of another emergency. They also discussed setting up guidelines to help the county manager determine when it's best to close county facilities. The director of the Atlanta Fulton Emergency Management Agency is now working on a written evaluation for the board on how the county responded. The board wants to know if the county reached its goal, and if not, why. The director will present his findings to the county manager when that evaluation is done. Again, keep it here on FGTV for the latest county information. In the News Center, I'm Priscilla Ortega for FGTV.
Thank you very much. And now some assistance to help you find a job. MARTA is looking for bus drivers, and Fulton professionals are helping with that process. The Office of Workforce Development will be hosting a recruitment drive at their Adamsville Health Center location. Applicants must first complete an online profile and customer service assessment before being interviewed. The hiring program is a part of MARTA's focus on restoring levels of customer service. Last year, the Office of Workforce Development helped dozens of people find employment with the new Walmart on Cascade Road. A new judge is assigned to the county's drug treatment court. Judge Kelly A. Lee is replacing Judge Doris Downs, who is headed to the Family Court Division. The Honorable Kelly Lee is here now to tell us about drug court and her new responsibilities. Judge, welcome to Fulton today.
Hi, Shania. Thanks for having me.
Well, first of all, Judge, congratulations on your new responsibilities that, as I understand it, that you will be sharing with drug court's other jurists, Judge Bensonetta Tipton Lane. Tell us a little bit about this.
Some of my responsibilities with the drug court are weekly calendars that I will be operating in my courtroom. We'll be holding those Wednesday afternoons. Weekly staff meetings. We have an awesome staff in our accountability courts, case managers and clinicians who meet a lot during the week with all of our drug court participants. I meet with them in advance of our drug court calendar and get updates on how everybody's doing. And then I conduct the calendar. Additional responsibilities are really getting to know the defendants, our clients who are part of the drug court program. They will report back to me repetitively, so over time, it's an 18-month to 24-month program. I'll get to know them. And also, as a judge, I have the responsibility of really staying abreast of the latest developments in drug court from all of the research that's done nationwide of drug courts, knowing the best practices for our drug courts and the laws that pertain to it.
And tell us about the concept of drug court and the different phases of the program.
The concept behind drug court is that it reduces recidivism. It gets people who are addicted to alcohol and drugs off of drugs and alcohol, which then makes our community safer, all at a reduced cost to taxpayers.
And Judge, how many people have graduated from drug court since it started?
Last count of about 2 weeks ago, 934 graduates of our program. So those are people who were admitted into the program, successfully completed 18 to 24 months of our program, and then graduated.
And Judge, any final comments?
Sure, I'm just really happy to be a part of the drug court. I look forward to these new responsibilities, and I hope to make a difference in the lives of our participants and our community.
Superior Court Judge Kelly Lee, thank you so much for your time, and of course we'll check in at the time of drug court graduation.
Thanks for having me.
Get your tax filing documents together. Fulton County is partnering with a number of organizations to help residents file their taxes, and a lot of that help is free.
We focus on the low-income seniors, but there's really no one that we'll turn away. We'll do taxes for everybody as long as the return is within our scope of preparation.
Now, don't forget to bring all necessary documents like last year's tax return, your W-2 form, and other documents needed for itemized deductions. For more information on the tax assistance, visit the library's website. American flags that once flew over Afghanistan now hang in Georgia Supreme Court and State Appeals Court. Army Reservist and Superior Court Judge Ural Glanville presented the flags during a special presentation. The flags were flown over Kabul, Afghanistan, while Glanville was deployed there last year. Judge Glanville served on the Rule of Law Field Force in Afghanistan. The 30-year Armed Forces veteran has been awarded a Bronze Star and Legion Merit Award. And still to come on Fulton Today, got questions about the status of South Fulton County? The answers in our district-by-district coverage next.
You're watching Fulton Today.
Another informational meeting is scheduled about the future of South Fulton, and a review of the county's winter emergency plan is requested by one commissioner. Here's this week's district by district coverage.
Let us learn from what happened in 2011. Let us learn from what happened in 2014. Meet now, not next week, immediately, while everything is fresh. Come up with a plan that will ensure that when the next time this happens, and it will happen again, that we are even better prepared the next time than we were this time.
As we mentioned earlier in the show, the Atlanta Fulton Emergency Management Director gave an update to commissioners at their last board meeting about his division's role in the weather emergency. Commissioner plans on potentially convening a meeting with all stakeholders about coordinated response needs for the entire metro area.
Thanks so much for 40 good years.
District 4 Commissioner Tom Lowe announces his retirement after serving nearly 40 years on the Fulton County Board of Commissioners. The North Fulton Commissioner represents Buckhead, Sandy Springs, and part of Roswell. First elected in 1974, Lowe also served more than 5 years as vice chair. A world-class skeet shooter, he was instrumental in the development of the county's Wolf Creek Skeet and Trap Range that bears his name. Commissioner Lowe made his retirement announcement during last week's board meeting.
The greatest thing in the world is to know when your time has come. My time has come. I leave with deep loss. I'll miss it. Hopefully not sadly, maybe gladly. But I've got to spend more time with my family. With the losses we've had and a new daughter-in-law and everything happening inside the family, you know I'm gonna have more great grandkids than the 5 I've got. But it's time for me to go.
The Auburn University grad will serve out the remainder of his term this year. In District 5, vendors interested in construction opportunities for the new Northwest Regional Library get information firsthand about the project. A meeting was held at the Fire Station 28, which is right across the street from the site of the new branch. The new 25,000 square foot facility will have over 100 parking spaces and will serve as a community gathering place.
What we're looking for is to see if we could get more interest in all phases of construction on this project. We're looking for everything from concrete to steel to masonry to metalwork, all those services that are required for construction we're looking for.
We are greatly encouraged to know that the contractor has taken positive steps, not just to have an event, but to sit down and talk with contractors who have the experience and who have the capacity to participate in this project.
To see the renderings for the new Northwest Regional Library branch, visit afbls.org. There's also vendor information on the site. And finally, District 7 residents will have another opportunity to get information about the status of South Fulton County. Last month, Commissioner William Bill Edwards hosted a civic engagement meeting to provide residents with facts about annexation, incorporation, and current state legislation. A new bill is before legislators called House Bill 704. The bill was introduced by State Representative Roger Bruce and, if passed, would call for a referendum to incorporate the city of South Fulton.
The format will be the same. We'll be bringing the same professionals out, and we may be even bringing in 1 or 2 more. So the room that we have now has a capacity of about 500. So hopefully we'll have enough seating for everybody, and we can do the same thing, give the same type of information as they decide whether they want to be a city or not.
If House Bill 704 passes, residents will vote on the referendum in May. The town hall meeting is February 18th at 6:30 p.m. at the Body of Christ Church International on Flat Shoals Road. Now, you can catch more of your commissioners at work all this week with a rebroadcast of the Board of Commissioners meeting right here on FGTV. And still to come, time is running out to sign up for the Affordable Care Act. Find out where to get help with the process when we return.
You're watching Fulton Today.
Portions of the following segment are part of the Fulton County Common Ground Initiative. Common Ground, the county's comprehensive solution to the problem of health disparities in the community.
Fulton health professionals say that asthma has reached epidemic proportions. So the Fulton Asthma Improvement and Reduction Coalition, also known as FAIR, is continuing to increase awareness. Here now to talk to us about curbing these numbers is Nazira Daewoo. She is the Health Promotions and Program Manager. Nazira, welcome back to Fulton Today.
Thank you, Shania, for having me.
So what should Fulton County residents know about asthma?
Well, asthma is one of the chronic illnesses. According to the American Lung Association, 1 in 12 residents in Metro Atlanta suffer from asthma. The reasons for asthma is certainly not known yet, but there are several triggering factors that cause asthma. What is asthma? Asthma is when you're able to breathe. Now you're able to breathe, but asthma is something's blocking your air passages. So what you feel like is something suffocating, so you're not able to breathe because there are so many particulates blocking your air passages that allow you to breathe normally. The triggering factors can be several. Internal can be stress. External triggering factors can be pollen, mold, spores, secondhand smoke, and particulate matters that you don't even see. And we are trying to educate the residents about these so they can prevent the attacks of asthma.
And now let's talk about 2014. What are the goals?
The Asthma Coalition came together and we decided our goal should be, and we want it to be, reduction of emergency visits by 60% and the expense that's related to asthma treatment by 60%.
And can you explain the Blanketing 30311 campaign?
Sure. Most of our initiatives have been data-driven. So when we figured out the ER visits in zip code 30311 was highest, such as 700 emergency room visits, we started identifying the areas and locations and outreaching to different sectors such as schools, hospitals, pharmacies, parks and recreation area to provide these flyers and also provide them with presentations that can help improve, identify the asthma triggers.
And Nazira, of course, let's get your final thoughts as well.
There are still community members that are not aware of simple facts such as secondhand smoke can trigger asthma. By a family member quitting smoking, the child's health can be improved, health outcomes can be improved, so they don't have any attacks of asthma. So improving and educating the community on these awareness and education has really helped us, and we want to help the community get more information on asthma. Like I said, if we don't have the answers, we'll make sure that someone who has the answers is connected with you. Don't hesitate to reach us at 404-613-1243 if you want to be a part of our asthma initiative and join the Asthma Coalition.
Nazira Daewoo, always great information. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Shania.
Now, for more information on asthma, you can go to asthma-allergy.org. There's still time to get help signing up for the Affordable Care Act. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services will be at the Central Library to answer questions and provide applications for the process. The deadline to enroll for health care through the Affordable Care Act is March 31st. Fulton health professionals stress that it is important to get health care coverage.
People who have insurance have more ready access to receive treatment for that condition and can get cured.
The sessions will be Tuesday and Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. from now until March 4th at the Central Library. For information on the sessions, call the library at 404-730-1875. Blue Cross Blue Shield continues its Healthiest Loser campaign to help the Fulton County workforce stay in good health. Fulton's Wellness Committee is pleased to announce that the extra weight keeps coming off of county employees. The latest weigh-ins for the competition have been calculated. The second round contestants had to lose at least 10 pounds in round 1 and keep it off for 6 months.
The second round of the Healthiest Loser competition was a bit challenge. The employees had to go through the holidays and really focus on their food choices.
The healthiest loser is Evelyn Jones, pictured here in the middle with her prize, a new iPad Air. She lost more than 30% of her body weight since the beginning of the competition. Blue Cross Blue Shield is the county's insurance provider. The company feels the less it has to pay in medical claims, the more the county has to spend on programs for residents. And still to come on Fulton Today, how your local library can help further your education. Stay with us.
You're watching Fulton Today.
People looking to earn their GED can get free classes and even take the test. GED preparation classes are available at certain library branches, including the Adamsville Collier Heights branch. This year, the GED test got an overhaul by the state. The new changes are meant to match the higher standards of educational requirements.
We have 3 tracks that we have them on, 3-month, 6-month, or 9-month. And those that are on the 3-month track, they are already, GED ready, so to speak. They just need a little bit of help.
For a complete list of locations and times for GED classes, go to afpls.org/events. And finally, mark your calendars. A number of Black History Month events were planned all around the county this month. People gathered at the West End Library branch to watch the documentary Slavery by Another Name. The film shows how the years after the Civil War had new forms of forced labor for thousands of African Americans in the South.
I think it should be required viewing because it gives you facts. It doesn't just play on the emotionalism, and it makes you understand why it was allowed to happen. It's so much bigger than race. It always comes down to dollars.
Libraries will have similar screenings and contests for children and adults all month long. You can check out the library website for details. And before we go, our reminder that we'd like to hear from you about the stories and programs right here on FGTV. Go to our website to take a survey or email or call us. The number 404-612-8317. The email address is fgtv.feedback@fultoncountyga.gov. You can also follow us at twitter.com/FGTV, friend us on Facebook, and watch us on YouTube. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. I'm Shania Chavis. Thank you for joining us. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.